This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. We may be a comic duo, but we take mental health very serious. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service and is completely online. BetterHelp is a network with over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, answer a few questions, and BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network.
You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/amp. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/amp.
Again, I've tried to record this 4 or 5 times, but I have the busiest road, and the young adults around here have very loud trucks and farm equipment and all that fun stuff. So I don't mind the noise. It's just funny. As soon as I start recording, it gets super loud. I guess I should watch my timing. Maybe this is the time I'm recording around 6 p.m. Maybe everybody's coming home or something from work. How do we know someone is a good friend? How do you know that someone is a good friend? And it almost feels extra important as maybe we get older as adults, because I feel like when we're younger, maybe we have a lot of friends around us, a lot of acquaintances. There's always somebody to call to say, hey, want to go to that football game? But maybe as we get older, it's more about quality. And not just that, but how do friends show they care? Friendship in adulthood isn't as simple as sharing a juice box or playing the same video games, right? It's a little bit different. It takes effort, understanding, sometimes just the right text at the right time. So let's break it down. What do real friends do to show they care? And how can we be that kind of friend in return? We're going to talk about it. Not all friendships look the same. Not all of them. I'm thinking of some of the friendships I have. They're all a little bit different. But real friends, good friends, have a way of making you feel seen. They have a way of making you feel heard. And they have a way of making you feel supported. And here's how they do it. Maybe they check in. For real. A good friend doesn't just text, how are you? And expect a generic, good, you? Not a generic one. They actually care about the answer. Maybe they say, they remember that you have a big meeting and they say, how'd it go? How'd your meeting go? How'd your interview go? Maybe they send a quick thinking of you out of nowhere. Maybe it's been a couple days. Thinking of you. I don't have time to call right now, but I'm thinking about you. Let's connect here in the next day or two. Maybe they notice when you've been quiet and they say, hey, you okay? What can I do for you? How can I help? And maybe in return, you do the same to them. It's not about constant communication, but it is intent to communicate. Maybe they celebrate your wins, big and small. A real friend isn't just there for a tough time. They genuinely get excited when things happen to you. They want to celebrate your wins, big or small. You get a promotion, they are all hyping you up. Or maybe the interview for the promotion, why don't we practice some questions? Or let's talk about it. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? What's this new job? They want to hear all about it and have you talk about it. Maybe you finally finished that book that you've been reading for months, so they send you like a clappy hands emoji, or they say, tell me what it's about. I'll probably never read it, but tell me what it's about. Maybe you finally figured out how to fold a fitted sheet and they act like you won an Olympic medal. That's a real friend. Maybe they write back, do you need a cookie? No, I'm just kidding. That is still a good friend. One that can mess with you and be comfortable messing around with you. Support isn't just for the hard moments. It's for the little victories too. So when we're going through some of these points, think about it. Think about the friends that you have. Think about the friend that you are. Are you doing these things and are you getting these in return? Maybe they drive to your place just to sit on the couch with you when you're having a bad day. You don't know that they're showing up. They just show up and be like, I'm not here to bother you. I'm going to sit right here. If you want to talk, we can talk. Maybe they come to your kid's birthday party or niece and nephew's birthday party, even if they don't have kids. right? They know maybe they've never had kids, but yet they still support your kids or your grandkids or your niece or nephew, or they're excited to hear the stories that the kids did. Maybe they support your business, your podcast, like this one, a creative project, not just with the likes, but they actually engage. You know, I think, so Cass and I have been doing the Clopen Effect. We're celebrating 4 years this month. And then we've been doing the anxiety, I think, since 2023. And I feel like every single week I have gotten something from somebody because they either related to anxiety and wanted to tell me a story and I listened, or something was funny on the Clopen, or even funny on anxiety, especially when Cass is here, when we have guests here. It's great. I don't think a week has gone by where not one of my circle of friends, even distant friends, Snapchatted me or showed me that they were listening and said, this is hilarious, or when can I be on, or hey, this business wants to come. There is so much support that surrounds our podcasts and my books too. It's unbelievable how many pictures, text messages of people holding my book I've received, or maybe they send me that they were reading the ebook, or I am very blessed. I am very blessed. And I know, and I try to be a good friend, but I know that I'm not at my best because I feel like I could be even a better friend. But I am so busy doing a lot of things. Sometimes I miss things. And so I'm working on that in 2025. They don't always need to be physically present, but they show you that they've got you. You know, and I feel like I got a lot of people that got me. I feel like I am the kind of person, and it wasn't like this when I was younger, may I say. I was just telling Cass this. We had a really, really serious conversation last week. It was a good one about friendships. And I said, you know, I've never, ever had this when I was younger. I never just could pick up a phone and call someone and be like, yep, they're going to support me. I do now. It took many, many years, 30 years. So if you're younger and listening to this, if you're a young adult and you're having a hard time making friends, I'm going to tell you that it eventually happens. You find your person, or you find your people, or sometimes your spouse is your best friend. And that's great. That is great. Just make sure you have separate rooms for on times. Then you just need, some time alone. But yeah, we had a really great conversation last week just about support and who are good people in our lives, and how we notice and how we feel it. You feel it in your soul. A few years ago, I sadly had to let a friend go because every time I got a text or a call or we got together, I got that weird stomach ache, like in the pit of my stomach, where my body was just like, I don't know if this is right. But my brain and my heart said, oh, she's such a great person. But you know what? I had to let go. The stomach, the anxiety, it won. And it was a good thing. It was a sad thing, but it was a good thing for me. It was healthy. So sometimes you have to reevaluate, right? So how about friends that remember the little things? Maybe they remember your food order, what you like on your pizza or your coffee order. Maybe they know that you hate tomatoes, but you love salsa. So what do? Maybe they remember your weird childhood fear of, like, I don't know, garden gnomes or snakes or birds. Or maybe they remember the nickname or the name of the coworker who always annoys you. And, maybe you'll be telling the story and they'll be like, oh, who was that? And you have a nickname for that person. It's just really to make you laugh. It's not to talk terrible about the person. It's just to make you laugh, right? To make you feel like they're supporting you. And they do. How about they let you be yourself? I could never be myself when I was younger. I can be myself now. I have some great friends that, we dress up for Halloween. We have fun, ugly sweater parties. We do a lot of fun stuff that I always knew I wanted to do, but never had people until I found my people. So be patient if you're still looking. You will find your people. You got to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to make friends and see which ones are gonna stay, right? That are gonna be your people. The best friends are the ones where you don't feel like you have to filter yourself. Maybe you can vent without feeling judged. And then maybe you listen to them too. And they know that they're not being judged because they can vent to you. Maybe you can be weird, unpolished, no makeup, messy bun, eating cereal on the floor. And they're like, cool. I'm probably going to do that next weekend. So be there for me, right? Maybe they talk about really deep stuff for 1 minute and then all of a sudden you're laughing about something stupid the next. And maybe it's the same thing. Maybe they tell you something really serious and then you know when to crack a joke, and then you're laughing. But a real friend makes you feel like you can just exhale when you're around them. Think about it. If you're with someone and you can just forget everything, all your cares, and just exhale, you're with a good friend. And hopefully that's the same, right? Hopefully they feel the same. So because good friendships aren't just about what we get, but also what we give, how can we make sure we're being that kind of friend? We're going to flip it now, right? Be the one who reaches out first. So if everyone was the one that reached out first, no one would be sad about someone not reaching out, right? Be the one to reach out first. We all get busy. It's easy to fall into the, we should catch up soon. Oh gosh, and adulthood. I feel like that's adulthood. We should catch up soon, right? In that cycle that never actually happens. So be the friend who sends the first text. Be the friend who sets that date. Hey, I'm free next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Meet you at the coffee shop. Meet you at the pizza shop. Maybe Taco Tuesday. Set the date. Send the first text. Maybe you're the one that follows up too. Maybe follow up with them. Or say, hey, didn't you have something big happening this past weekend? Can you remind me and let's celebrate it, right? Or maybe they had an interview. Or maybe whatever, right? Sometimes people don't reach out, not because they don't care, but because they assume you're too busy. Break that cycle. Break it. It's okay to match their energy too, but respect their needs. Some friends need constant communication and others are more low maintenance, kind of like read the room. This friend needs me to check in every morning. This friend needs me to check in only once a month. I have a really, really good friend. I've known her for so long and we don't even have to say hello or anything when we text each other or call each other. It's literally, we just call each other every couple months with questions. Hey, remember when blah, blah, blah? And then we have the answer for each other. I've known her for so long. So it just we just pick up where we left off basically every couple months. A good friend pays attention to what the other person needs. They do. I was once not that good because I was so, I was kind of in survivor mode for many, many years. So I would listen to people, but I would forget things and it wasn't intentional. But I know I lost a few friends because of that. Because I was going through my own thing, so I could not put my energy into a friendship. So make sure you're getting all your stuff taken care of too. Keep yourself healthy so you can put 100% into a friendship. Some friends love deep conversations and others just bond through funny memes. So pick your friends. Which ones? Some friends want a pep talk when they're struggling and others just need you to sit in silence. So maybe get used to saying, I just need you to listen. Or I need some advice. Or, hey, I need to vent. Or listen to this. And then after you're done and they've done listening, you can say, well, what do you think about that? If you want to hear feedback. Maybe some want to go out and do something fun. Go to a bar, go to the movies, go out to eat, where others maybe just want a quiet night in. Want to come over? Yeah, cool. We'll hang out in here. We'll hang out inside. The key to a good friendship is to pay attention and adjust, but don't force something that isn't natural. If it just doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. Be happy for them without making it about you. So when your friend has good news, don't immediately relate back to yourself. I feel like sometimes when someone has some really good news and you don't fully celebrate them and you say, good for you, me too, that takes away their excitement. So maybe just watch. I know I've noticed that we have a trend in the world with social media and stuff that someone will have something great, but then someone's either trying to teach them a lesson because they find that one thing they don't like about the video or the one thing that they say about it, or they just want to celebrate their stuff too, or they want to make maybe something worse. For example, the worst part. Someone wrote on maybe a Facebook or Instagram post something that they were going through. And there were actually surprisingly quite a few people that wrote back, oh yeah, well, at least you didn't. And they were trying to make it about them. Don't do that. Celebrate wins and help people get through stuff, life stuff. So when your friend has good news, don't immediately relate it back to yourself. For example, here is a wrong way, maybe an incorrect way. You got a new job? Ugh, I wish I had a better job. Are you celebrating their win or are you worried about yourself with that? The right way might be, you got a new job? That's amazing. Tell me all about it. And then listen. True friendship means celebrating without comparison. How about this? Sometimes this is tough for all of us, but how about apologize when you mess up? Friendships aren't perfect because we're human. Nobody's perfect. Sometimes we cancel plans last minute. Sometimes we say something that just doesn't land right. A good friend owns it, apologize, and fix it. Hey, I realized I haven't been great at checking in. I'm going to be better about that, and then be better about it. Or, hey, I was in a weird mood yesterday. If I came off short, I am really sorry. I'm going to watch that from now on, especially when talking to you. Right? That can go both ways. You know, they could say that to you, you could say it to them, and then you just forget about it. That's what good friends do. You forget about it. It's not about never messing up. It's just about handling it well when you do, right? They're good friends. They're not going anywhere. If they're good friends, if they're great friends, they're not going anywhere. Maybe support weird interests with each other. If they love a random niche hobby, ask about it. Support it. If they're obsessed with a show, maybe watch one episode with them so that you can talk about it. You don't have to watch the whole thing. If they're launching something new, hype them up. We have so many wonderful people on these podcasts, with our podcasts, that share our stuff. We call it SOS, share our shit. Even if you don't get it, support your friend's joy. And that's what real friendship is all about. Okay, so the reality. You know, I got to turn this. Not every friendship lasts, and that is okay. Sometimes friendships fade. That's not always a bad thing. Sometimes people change. Sometimes life circumstances shift. I had a really good friend that I worked with that we talked to all the time, and now it just faded. It's because I don't see her often. I have a cousin that I was really close to, and it just faded because we don't see each other. You know, we live in different states. It happens. I mean, of course, if we see each other, it's not like we stop talking on bad terms. We just don't see each other anymore. Some friendships were meant for a season, not a lifetime. I know those are tough. Ooh, those are tough. Instead of feeling guilty about drifting apart, focus on appreciating the friendships that feel good right now. So how about we close this with some funny signs that you have a ride or die friendship? Maybe they text and say, I'm here, instead of knocking when they pick you up. Like, just get out here. Get in, loser, we're going shopping, right? Like Mean Girls. They would literally help you hide a body and ask no questions. I mean, I would hope not, but they would. And maybe they mention it. How about they've seen you ugly cry and they still love you? Maybe you have entire conversations with just memes. It's a good friend. And they get it. They get you. I was talking to Cass last week and she reminded me of such a great saying. Surround yourself with people who fight for you in rooms you aren't in. It's so good. It's my favorite saying. Surround yourself with people who fight for you in rooms you aren't in. These aren't the people that are talking bad about you. You never hear any rumors come back around because they're not telling any. Oh, it's all about respect and kindness and having some fun, right? Go make some good friends. Go be a good friend. Talk to you next time.